Zen asks, hey Lucas, quick question. How do I avoid having a giant cell phone bill when I go and I travel in the States? I've dealt with this one a lot, and for a lot of our clients it's been a giant pain, so I'm going to explain a couple of things for you. Basically, to get data or to get internet into your phone, there's only two ways that it can come in. One is through Wi-Fi and the other is through cell phone towers. Now, cell phone towers are like Telus, Bell, Rogers, these kinds of things. I've never actually seen one around here, but I assume that they're just very tall metal tower-like things, and your phone connects to them and gets information and gets data from them. Wi-Fi is what you have when you go to like your home or a coffee shop, and you see the little Wi-Fi logo up in the top left. Now, giant red flag, risk is if you go to the States and you don't have Wi-Fi and you're on one of their cell phone towers, which is like AT&T, T-Mobile, Virgin, these kinds of things, and you're doing texting and phone calls and data, that's where you're most at risk of having a huge bill. So one setting that I always turn on my phone and I keep tight control over is if you go into settings and then you go to cellular, and then you go to cellular data options, and then you turn on or off data roaming. If data roaming is turned off, you're safe from data charges. You may still get hit with like phone call or text message charges if you do outgoing calls or texting, but data, you won't get hit with the bill for that. I go on trips sometimes where I don't really need to do phone or texting or whatever when I'm out and about, and I can just stick to Wi-Fi, and that gives me access to like email and Facebook. You can do iMessage on Wi-Fi. So then I watch to make sure I have Wi-Fi in the top left. I only do this in my hotel room or coffee shops or the hotel, and I make sure that data roaming option is turned off. Sometimes I'll even go into airplane mode, which you can do, and you can have airplane mode turned on and also have Wi-Fi turned on, so you can be on Wi-Fi and then just not get any text messages or phone calls coming in. It was an amazing, wonderful day for me when Rogers came out with the Roam Like Home plan that's like $5 a day, where basically you get your Canadian plan, which for me is basically unlimited calls, texting, and data, and you can have that in the States for only $5 a day. So then now suddenly I had access to just use my phone like normal anywhere in the States and not have to worry about going from Wi-Fi spot to Wi-Fi spot. So if you need to be able to go out and about and like use your phone anywhere, use data anywhere, then talk to your cell phone provider and see what kind of plans and what kind of options they have. Very cool trick is if you're going somewhere that you need to have access to a map, I only learned this about a year ago and it was mind-blowing for me, is you can actually be in a Wi-Fi zone, use Google Maps to search for the place where you're going and then like scroll around and look around in that area, and it'll actually download all of the maps for that area. Then when you go out there, you can actually turn off data roaming, turn off Wi-Fi, and you have full access to GPS with the maps already downloaded. If you need to be able to do phone and text and data and stuff like that, you might want to consider a SIM card. For me, the big downside of the SIM card was that my phone number would change. But if you're okay with having a temporarily different phone number, then get a SIM card. Often that's a lot cheaper and they can give you a data plan with that as well. So short answer, be aware of whether data roaming is turned off or on. Go from friendly Wi-Fi bubble to friendly Wi-Fi bubble so that you know that you're not accessing data through the cell phone towers. Red alert of a recent thing, there's a setting on the phone now that is called Wi-Fi Assist, where if you have slow Wi-Fi, it'll start to grab data from cell phone towers. And if you have that turned on, and you also have data roaming turned on, then even if you're on Wi-Fi, it's going to be downloading data from cell phone towers, and then your bill's going to go through the roof again. So be aware of that. Hopefully that's helpful. It's a lot of information, I know. Like I said, go ahead and watch this again. And if you have a question, post a comment on the video and I will answer. If you dug that and you want more, head to macandhome.com/killertips to grab your free ebook. The top 10 killer tips to speed up your Mac without spending a dime. It's in human language with no acronyms. All right, super interesting information. It's gonna change your life. It's gonna completely change everything.